Hi, this is Dr. Sam Bunting. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm showing you how I get ready for a party. I'm very excited. I'm going to the Serpentine party, which is one of the best parties of the year in London in my opinion, and super glamorous location, and everyone tends to make a huge effort, so it's a real visual feast, so I've got to participate. Now, when I get ready for an evening event, it does depend what time I'm going out, and because this is an early evening event, there'll be natural light and photographs taken in natural light, so I have to be sympathetic to that. So to that end, my routine for making up my skin doesn't change that much. Really the focus is on eyes and lips, and I'm going for a very soft lip, which is usually in my normal colour family of like a rose shade, so all the attention is going to be on the eyes. So what I tend to do is to prep my lids with Laura Mercier Eye Basics in Flax, because my evening look for eyes tends to be very much feline cat flick liner and a bit of sculpting in the socket. So this is fantastic for forming a really good base that doesn't allow the liquid line to transfer up onto the skin above the eye, which unfortunately tends to happen if you don't use a product like this. As the eye gets a little warmer, the product heats up and then it becomes movable. So don't like that. So this is what I tend to put all over the lid, right up to the socket line, and I let that dry completely. Then I tend to use the Eyeko liquid eyeliner because I find this gives the sort of densest, blackest line. It's a really easy felt tip type product to use and gives a really nice flick at the outer corner for that doe-eyed look, and it dries really quickly. And if you need to go back over the line, as you sometimes do, it doesn't tend to come off in little pieces as some other liquid liners have done in the past. So for me, that's my go-to product for doing a cat flick eye. So that's the basics. Then I'll go in after I've curled my lashes with my trusty Uemura eyelash curlers. And I'll use my favourite black mascara, which is this one from Lancome, the Hypnose Volume Apporté. I find the brush to be excellent. It's great for separating out individual lashes. It's really black, gives great separation and lengthening without being too clumpy. I'm not a great fan of those false lash effect mascaras, which tend to flake off as the mascara dries out and leave little kind of shards of black pigment on the upper cheek over the course of your night out. So I feel really good using that particular mascara, and I've used it for a while now. Now, because it's an evening look, I'll want a little bit more lash effect than usual, and a good makeup artist friend of mine introduced me to these from Uemura some time ago. They're called the Partial Soft Cross. Now, to me, these are the most idiot-proof way of getting that lovely lengthening effect that you get from false lashes, but without it being too strippery, if you know what I mean. So these just give you that thickness, that length, and that kind of curly doe-eyed look at the outer corner of the eye, and they're super easy to use. Even I can use them. So you literally take out one strip, you're just putting on this quarter length strand of lashes, and you take something fine and you apply a tiny line of duo eyelash glue, which I think most people tend to use. It's the best. Wait 30 seconds, and then you literally just pop it on in the outer corner of the lashes, having put your liquid liner on first. And it's so easy, dries in a matter of seconds, and I just find gives you that professional look with the extra lash intensity without any of the faff of putting on full strips or individuals, which are pretty much impossible to do yourself, I find. So that's my sort of top lash cheat, if you will, and delivers a pretty good glamour fix for really very little effort. Then I will come on, I won't do too much with my actual lids, but I do like a little bit of sculpting in this socket just for definition. So again, very much a neutral palette, no real colour as such, So I use this fab product developed by Wendy Rowe for Burberry, their eye contour stick, and this is in almond, and it's just a soft, subtle, smudgy, matte brown that works really well with my skin tone, just to give that little bit of definition in the socket, which can really help if you've got subtle changes in your upper lids. They're not quite as crisp and perfect as they once were, to really help recess any subtle hooding. And that tends to be me in terms of what I'll actually do with my eyes. When I'm doing a little bit of highlighting for my skin later on, I'll pop a little dab just on the brow bone, and then I'll go on to do my eyebrows, my grooming of my brows. So bit obsessed with Kevin Aucoin's eyebrow pencil in brunette. Comes with a great little brush for brushing up the brows afterwards. But yeah, just those individual little strokes that you can apply to build up brow density without making it look too blocky. And then I just use a spritz of hairspray on the brush to brush brows into place and have them sort of standing up in that very fawn-like manner. And for me, that's just the perfect amount of more drama, but not too much, in terms of doing my eyes for evening. Lips, as I said, I tend to keep it very neutral, and I'll use these three products. So where I might normally just use a cream lipstick for day, I will tend to add a pop of gloss for evening. And at the moment, my lip pencil of choice is a recommendation from Caroline Barnes, which is the Clarins lip liner in Nude Beige. I just find it to be a really good basic colour for just subtly drawing over the edge of one's natural lip for the fullest possible lip. And then filling in with my trusted Burberry English Rose, which is, yeah, sadly almost empty, but I'm scooping out the last bit with a lip brush. And then I'll go back in with Rosewood lip gloss, which is just a gorgeous natural pink lip colour shade, which is really nice against dark hair and fair skin. No hint of glitter, just a nice soft gloss. It isn't too sticky. And that'll be me for my lip. As I said, I tend to wear a very similar base to my normal one for evening. I don't tend to go much heavier. I'll be a little bit more precise perhaps with my concealing, but I'll still wear my Luminous Silk in 4.5 from Armani all over my skin. I will use a little bit of the Fluid Sheer, which I mentioned in one of my recent Instagram posts, to perhaps just make the overall impression of the base a little more dewy than usual. A little bit of highlighting along the top of the cheekbone, top of the lip, and then possibly a little bit just around the brow. Maybe a tiny dot in the inner corner of my eye to really wake my eyes up. I will conceal as usual. My blush will be my usual from Stila colour Convertible in Peony, which is like a nice rose. And then for evening, I might do a little bit more work with contouring. So again, I would use this medium toned contour stick from Burberry. Again, it's a good shade. There's no real red or orange tones, which can sometimes happen when you use brown pigment sticks like this. So it's a really good colour for just sculpting and creating that natural hollow under the cheekbone, which just makes you look a little bit more sculpted on camera. So I think it's a really good tip for when you're having photographs taken. And I will sometimes apply that under my foundation if I want the look to be super natural, as I do on an occasion like this, where actually at 7 p.m. it really is very light. So by applying the contour under your foundation, you really do soft blended edges, and nothing looks unnatural. For me, that's just a no-go. So that's pretty much it. That's me ready to go. I might use a teensy bit of powder if it's a really hot evening. And if I do, I'll use a tiny brush, like something I might use for contouring, just for a little bit of powder, the bridge of my nose, just a little here. Very much the top lip is an area I hate looking shiny. I'll put a little bit there, maybe a dab on my chin, a dab on my forehead, but nothing in this part of my skin because I want that to glow. And I don't mind a little shine there. If that's what happens, then it just means I've had a fun evening and I've enjoyed the dancing. final spritz of my favourite Fracas. I've worn that for, I don't know, 10 years maybe, and it's simply my favourite scent, worn by Grace Kelly and Ava Gardner. So it's a rich, heady tuberose scent, and I won't wear anything else. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I wear when I get ready for a big night out. I'm off to put on my dancing shoes. I think they're Aquazzura tonight, and I hope you enjoyed my routine. If you have, please subscribe or leave comments down below. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.